In the midst of a galactic war, a group of human soldiers is gathered in the main battle room of the starship Galactic Valor. The ship is trapped among enemy alien fleets, and they are in the midst of the fiercest moments of the conflict. The dim lights of the main battle room are illuminated by blue holographic maps, and the vibrations of exploding bombs echo through the walls. Commander Elena Dracos, weary from battle but with resolute eyes, looks at her soldiers. The lines on her face bear the marks of years of warfare, yet her eyes burn with an unyielding fire against defeat. Her broad shoulders stand firm within her uniform. "Listen up, folks," she begins, her voice strong and resonating through the room. "I know you're all tired. We're all tired. We haven't slept in days, maybe even weeks. But remember, we will win this war. Because we are human. The strength within us is something no alien race possesses." The soldiers listen, weary yet attentive. Each of them is filled with a mix of emotions: fear, hope, determination. Some show signs of exhaustion and despair on their faces, but the commander's voice brings them together, instilling courage in their hearts. Sergeant Jake Harris, holding his wounded arm, listens to the commander with a troubled expression. He received a serious injury in the recent skirmish, but is still pressing on with the fight. Erin Maria Torres' eyes are welling up, but she remains resolute. Her brother was killed in the previous conflict, and now she wants to win this war in his memory. Lieutenant David Zhao closes his eyes tightly, trying to regulate his breathing. He is uneasy, but the commander's words give him strength. "Do you think we have a chance this time, Harris?" Erin whispers. Jake grits his teeth and replies, "Of course we do. As long as Commander Dracos is here, we always have a chance." David joins in quietly. "We have to trust each other. We're all in the same boat. If one of us falls, we all fall." Elena continues, her eyes sweeping over her soldiers. "We have more than just our weapons. We have the courage in our hearts and the strategy in our minds. Together, we will win this war. Because we don't give up. Humanity never gives up. Let's show them how strong we really are." As the commander's final words echo through the room, the determination in the soldiers' eyes ignites. They move as one, preparing for battle. Humanity is once again setting out to achieve the impossible. The starship Galactic Valor is trapped among enemy alien fleets. 5 massive enemy ships have them surrounded. Holographic maps display the positions of the enemy vessels, and the intensity of the battle causes the ship's metallic walls to tremble. Commander Elena Dracos, her eyes fixed on the holographic map, is trying to devise a swift plan. Lieutenant David Zhao and Sergeant Jake Harris stand by her side. Erin Maria Torres, while checking the weapon systems, keeps a watchful eye on the commander. Commander Dracos, Zhao, determine the positions of the enemy ships. Harris, set our defense systems to maximum. Torres, get all our weapons ready to fire. We need to break this blockade quickly and decisively. David Zhao scans the map rapidly and marks the positions of the enemy ships. Commander, the enemy ships have us surrounded from all sides. 3 are on the front line, and 2 are at the rear. Enemy Commander Zarkan, the human ship is cornered. This time, we won't let them escape. Prepare all your weapons. We'll destroy them here. First assault. The enemy ships aim their heavy weapons at the Galactic Valor. Energy cannons and plasma projectiles speed toward the ship. The ship's defense shields vibrate and shake with the force of the explosions. Erin Maria Torres, Commander, the shields are taking heavy damage. We might not be able to hold out much longer. Commander Dracos, Harris, reinforce the shields immediately. Zhao, maintain our defensive position. We'll fire all our weapons simultaneously. Get ready. All weapon systems on the Galactic Valor fire simultaneously. Powerful lasers and rockets streak toward the enemy ships. The first enemy ship takes a heavy hit and veers off course. Lieutenant Zhao. The first enemy ship has sustained heavy damage, Commander. But there are still 4 more ships. The enemy ships, coordinating their attacks, intensify their assault. Plasma cannons and energy beams strike the Galactic Valor, pushing the ship's defense systems to their limits. Explosions echo through the ship, and the soldiers are jolted. Commander Dracos. Harris, how are the shields holding up? Sergeant Harris. The shields are weakening but still holding. We need to be careful with our energy reserves. Commander Dracos. Torres, reload all weapon systems. Zhao, protect the ship's weak points. We'll strategically withdraw and then counterattack. Zhao, turn the ship to the 3 o'clock position. Focus all our weapons on the rear targets. Aim for the weak points of the enemy ships. We might be able to surprise them this way. Zhao maneuvers the ship swiftly, turning it to the desired position. All weapons focus on the enemy ships at the rear. Plasma projectiles and lasers strike the enemy vessels, causing significant explosions. Erin Maria Torres. The second enemy ship has sustained serious damage, Commander. But the others are still attacking. Commander Dracos. Harris, adjust the energy distribution. We need to balance the shields and weapons. Zhao, accelerate our maneuvers. Try to mislead the enemy ship's fire. Enemy officer. Commander Zarkan, the human ship is launching very powerful attacks. We've taken heavy damage on another ship.
Commander Zarkan, no retreat.
Continue attacking with full force. We will destroy them here. The enemy ships are performing coordinated attacks, circling around the human vessel. The Galactic Valor's weapon systems respond to these attacks, with both sides taking heavy damage. Explosions reverberate in the silence of space. Lieutenant Zhao. The third enemy ship has taken heavy damage, Commander, but they are also pushing our shields to their limits. Commander Dracos. This is our last chance. Focus all weapon systems on the center of the enemy ships. We'll attack simultaneously. It's the only way to surprise them and break their formation. The Galactic Valor's weapon systems lock onto the centers of the enemy ships. A massive energy wave speeds toward the enemy vessels, and they are all simultaneously rocked by major explosions. As the enemy ships are thrown into disarray by the explosions, the crew of the Galactic Valor is filled with great joy and triumph. Commander Dracos. Well done, everyone. Together, we've achieved the impossible. We will win this war, because we are human, and nothing can stop us. The soldiers embrace each other, tears of joy streaming down their faces. Humanity has once again triumphed over adversity. The Allied Council is gathered in the command room of the human starship Galactic Valor. The Council consists of representatives from 4 different planets, and the meeting is held around a large holographic map and strategy panels. Tension is high inside, faces are tense, and voices echo with debates. Council members. Commander Elena Dracos, Human Representative. General Clara, Vorton Race Representative. Elder Marath, Zypher Race Representative. Supreme Admiral Ilna, Grosk Race Representative. Commander Dracos. Looking at the current state of the war, we see that our conflict with the enemy ships involved tactical errors. Ilna, the support provided by the Vorton ships did not yield the expected results. What strategy did you implement, and why did it fail? Supreme Admiral Ilna. The failure is due to encountering a stronger enemy resistance than anticipated. The previous assessments were inadequate, and we faced newly developed enemy defense systems. However, this is not a reason to question our strategy. General Clara. We should have been more informed about these defense systems. The Vorten fleet was rendered ineffective against the new energy shields developed by the enemy. Our lack of information was a significant handicap. Elder Marath. Beyond this situation, there is a significant lack of coordination in our war strategies. Each planet has its own strategic approach, but these are far from creating a unified strategy. The Council lacks a cohesive approach, which negatively impacts the course of the war. Commander Dracos. In particular, we faced issues with coordinated attacks on enemy ships at the rear. Many of our plans were not flexible enough to counter enemy maneuvers. Even during tactical withdrawals, some Allied ships were misdirected and failed to reach their targets. Supreme Admiral Ilna. During the withdrawal, we proposed enhancing the maneuverability of the Grosk fleet, but these suggestions were not considered. Perhaps we need to make fundamental changes to our defense strategy. General Clara. At a time when we need to act together, we are still fighting our own egos. The Vortens were slow to respond to the enemy's initial attacks, and we didn't have time to correct this. Commander Dracos. Insufficient information and misdirection have made it easier for the enemy to target us. Each planetary representative has contributed valuable insights, but it's crucial that the entire Council collaborates. What strategic changes can we make? Elder Marath. If we do not increase information sharing and implement real-time intelligence updates, our chances of victory will continue to diminish. We need to combine the best battle strategies from each planet to develop a unified plan. Supreme Admiral Ilna. The Council should establish a joint research unit to identify the weak points of the enemy ships. This unit could consolidate the technological and tactical knowledge from each planet. General Clara. By creating such a unit, we can speed up the flow of information from each planet and better predict enemy movements in real time. General Clara. At this point, we need to understand why Vorten strategies performed so poorly. Yes, we had a lack of information, but why did we waste so much time? In a situation where each planet is defending its own interests, failure in the war was inevitable. Supreme Admiral Ilna. This is a major failure in our strategic planning. The Grosk ships did not show sufficient resistance against the enemy vessels because the maneuver instructions for some Allied ships were unclear. There was no clarity on which planet would implement which strategy. Elder Marath. As representatives of our respective planets, we are forced to defend our own plans. This threatens the success of the entire alliance. Instead of working together, we are constantly having to prioritize the interests of our own regions. Commander Dracos. These behaviors are undermining our chances of victory against the enemy. Falling apart now only benefits the enemy. By doing so, we are merely accelerating our own failure. Commander Elena Dracos takes a deep breath to capture everyone's attention and breaks the silence. Her words draw the focus of each council member. Commander Dracos. Enough. I understand your anger and frustration, but we must acknowledge that such arguments do not change the course of the war. We are here to bring together the best strategic ideas and solutions from each planet. Instead of solving our internal issues, we need to focus on a common goal. General Clara. But Dracos, why did our strategy fail? We need to take concrete steps on this, or we could face a bigger disaster in the next attack. Commander Dracos. I am aware of the failures, General, but right now, instead of constantly condemning these failures, we must focus on the future. Our duty is to keep this alliance strong and defeat the enemy. We must set aside our internal disagreements and establish a unified strategy. Supreme Admiral Ilna. This creates an environment where everyone implements their own strategy, and we don't know what's truly effective. Why did the Grosk fleet fail to adhere to a specific strategy? We need to create a joint strategy instead of each planet having its own. Commander Dracos. Ilna, I am aware of the issues faced by the Grosk fleet. The lack of a unified strategy is certainly part of the problem. But the best solution to address this now is to increase information sharing and coordination. We need to be transparent and open about this. Elder Marath. But what kind of joint strategy will we develop? Each planet has different military capabilities. How will we integrate them? Commander Dracos. Marath, we need to identify each planet's strengths and make the best use of them. Vorton's strategic knowledge, Zypher's defensive tactics, and Grosk's technology can form the foundation of a unified plan. By combining the best features of all planets, we can create a strong defense and attack strategy. General Clara. I agree with this proposal. The strengths of each planet should be considered in strategic planning. This way, we can develop a unified strategy. Supreme Admiral Ilna. Understood. Then we need to take steps to accelerate information sharing and create a joint plan with contributions from each planet. Elder Marath. Yes, by working this way, we can develop a more effective strategy. Now, let's clarify all the details to determine what we need to do. Commander Dracos. All right, I will gather the best practices and strategy suggestions from each planet's representative. We will compile this information and create a unified plan. Now, it's time to act decisively as an alliance. Following Dracos' speech, the council members continue the meeting in a calmer manner. Each representative decides to take the necessary steps to develop a joint strategy, and the meeting concludes with a commitment to strengthen their alliances and continue the fight. After her impressive speech and strategic success at the council, Commander Elena Dracos is appointed to lead the United Forces. This appointment is approved by all planets and becomes a major morale booster. Commander Dracos will coordinate war strategies in her new role and direct all Alliance forces. In the command room of the Galactic Valor, Dracos plans how to win the war by bringing the troops together. Under Dracos' leadership, the Allied forces unite to develop a more effective battle plan. After a series of tough battles, human soldiers volunteered for a critical operation. This mission aimed to infiltrate the enemy's main war base and destroy a crucial strategic point. This suicide mission was seen as the Alliance's last hope. The human allies' main base was shrouded in the darkness of night, with stars creating a faint glow around the facility. Deep within the base, a special unit was preparing. This unit was composed of volunteer soldiers who were ready to sacrifice themselves. Each one was filled with courage and seen as the last hope of the war. In the training area, the soldiers were making final preparations and checking their equipment. Captain Aaron Chase, the leader of the operation, was meticulously overseeing the final preparations. His expression displayed a mixture of determination and concern. Speaking to his team in an encouraging yet emotional tone, he said, "Captain Chase, friends, this mission may be our last chance. I appreciate each of your courage and sacrifice. Our goal is not just to save ourselves, but to save the entire galaxy. Tonight, we will make history." Special Forces member Eliza Rhodes was lost in quiet, deep thoughts. Eliza carried a photo in her pocket, one of the last memories of her family. As she said her goodbyes to her friends, Eliza Rhodes, "The time I've spent with all of you has been some of the most valuable moments of my life. If we give our lives for this mission tonight, at least we know one thing. We are the best warriors in the galaxy." Private Liam Turner tried to lighten the pre-mission stress by joking with his friends, although his eyes revealed the anxiety and fear inside him. Liam Turner: "It might seem a bit strange, but laughing in the middle of a battle is always the best medicine. Let's have some fun now, maybe for the last time, and then let the fight begin." Captain Jenna Mark came over to boost the group's morale. While trying to present herself as a leader, she struggled to hide her own sadness and anxiety. Captain Mark, you all have shown tremendous courage by being part of this operation. The most important thing to us is that we are here for each other. Tonight, we will not only fight, we will also protect each other's lives. Commander Elena Dracos arrived at the preparation area and gathered around the soldiers. She was there to give them one last look and offer encouragement. With deep sadness and pride, she addressed the soldiers. Commander Dracos, tonight, the courage and determination you have shown are a beacon of hope for the entire galaxy. Words cannot express how invaluable each of your sacrifices is to us. I send you off with great pride. Your mission is not just beyond a battle. It is a turning point for the future of the galaxy. Dracos stood before each soldier, hugging them and holding their hands tightly. Some soldiers' eyes were filled with tears, while others bowed their heads. Dracos added, with a voice full of heartfelt pride and sadness, Commander Dracos, I know you will not return, but know that you will be remembered as the greatest heroes of the galaxy. You have given us the chance to change the course of the war. Your bravery will be written into the history books. After completing their preparations, the soldiers said their final goodbyes to their commander and loved ones. They were dressed in specially prepared gear and equipment for the battle. They embraced each other tightly, offering last-minute courage. The farewells were filled with tears and strong hugs. Taking one last look at each other, they set out towards the operation area with hope and determination. The operation began quietly under the cover of night. The soldiers advanced towards the enemy base, implementing their best strategies. Their silhouettes, lost in the darkness, represented the brave heroes carrying the hope of the galaxy. Each one moved with the resolve to sacrifice themselves, using their inner strength. In the end, the heroism of the sacrificial soldiers influenced the outcome of the war and changed the fate of the galaxy. These brave soldiers were honored as the galaxy's heroes, securing an eternal place in the hearts of all planets. The heroism of the sacrificial soldiers and the joint efforts of the Allied Council made it possible to achieve lasting peace in the galaxy. The enemies were defeated, and a new era of peace began among the planets across the galaxy. The Galactic Peace Council was established as a structure where all planets were equally represented. This council holds regular meetings to resolve disputes from various corners of the galaxy and to promote cooperation. To honor the sacrificial soldiers, a grand monument was constructed with the participation of all Allied planets. The monument, as a symbol of the war, represented the crucial role in achieving interplanetary peace. The monument, a massive structure, was built from marble and special metal alloys. It featured detailed engravings of the names of the sacrificial soldiers, historical moments of the war, and their struggles for the galaxy's peace. Representatives from each planet played an active role in the completion of the monument, making it a symbol of interplanetary cooperation. Every year, a delegation from all Allied planets gathers to participate in memorial ceremonies honoring the sacrificial soldiers. These ceremonies are conducted with rituals reflecting the cultural traditions of various planets. The delegation gathers around the monument, offers prayers, plays music, and holds military parades. These ceremonies are of great importance for preserving galactic peace and keeping the memories of the sacrificial soldiers alive. Each planet sends a representative to these events, strengthening solidarity across the galaxy. At the end of the ceremonies, participants conduct a collective march around the monument, holding flags and emblems that symbolize peace and cooperation. I hope you had a good time. If you liked my story, do not forget to comment and subscribe to my channel. Goodbye. See you in the next story.